Winter entered the prison cell, unprepared for the change that the short period of imprisonment had brought to his friend. The prisoner was 52 years old and looked at least 60. His hair had been thinning for years, but suddenly he'd become a bald-headed old man. He was sitting on the iron-frame bed, sallow and shrunken. His elbows were resting on his knees, and one hand was propped under his unshaven chin. The prison authorities had taken from him his belt, his braces, and his necktie, and the expensive, custom-made suit from Berlin's most famous tailor was now stained and baggy. And yet the dark underlined eyes were the same, and the pointed cleft chin made him immediately recognizable as a celebrity of the Third Reich, one of Hitler's most reliable associates. "You sent for me, Herr Reichsminister." The prisoner looked up. "The Reich is kaput. Germany is kaput. And I'm not a minister, I'm just a number." Winter could think of no way to respond to the bitter old man. He'd become used to seeing him sitting behind the magnificent hand-carved desk in the tapestry-hung room in the ministry, surrounded by aides, secretaries, and assistants. "Yes, I sent for you, Winter. Sit down." He sat down. So, it was all to be formal. "I sent for you, Herr Dr. Winter, and I'll tell you why. They told me you were in prison in London awaiting interrogation. They said that any of us on trial here could choose any German national we wanted for our defence counsel, and that if the one we chose was being held in prison, they'd release him to do it. It seemed to me that a man in prison might know what it's like for me in here." Winter wondered if he should offer the ex-Reichsminister a cigarette. But when, still undecided, he produced his precious cigarettes, the military policeman in the corridor shouted through the open door, "No smoking, buddy!" The ex-Reichsminister gave no sign of having heard the prison guard's voice. He carried on with his explanation. "2, you speak American. Speak it fluently. 3, you're a damn good lawyer, as I know from working with you for many years. 4, and this is the most important, you are an Obersturmbannführer in the SS." He saw Winter's face change and said, "Is there something wrong, Winter?" Winter leaned forward. It was a gesture of confidentiality and commitment. "At this very moment, just a few hundred yards from here, there are 100 or more American lawyers drafting the prosecution's case for declaring the SS an illegal organization. Such a verdict would mean prison and perhaps death sentences for everyone who was ever a member.